Welcome to the Champagne Diamonds podcast. I am your host, Nadine Russell, and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. This podcast was created for queens, women who are ready to step into their power, women who are looking towards their vision and embracing the journey along the way. Women who are ready to be unapologetic about being their authentic selves. If this is you, keep listening.
Hey Queen, can I talk to you about the sun for a minute? The sun is one of the greatest sources of light ever known to men. The sun has such a huge responsibility. There are so many people and animals and livestock that literally depend on the sun to rise and set every single day. Now, I want you to think for a moment about an individual who wakes up one day and goes out and notices that the sun is blocking their vision. The sun is in their way. The sun is literally blinding them. And they get upset. They're like, yo, sun, please. You are blocking my vision. You're causing my eyesight to be blurry. You're frustrating me. You're in my way. Move. Dim your light. Turn yourself off. You are too bright. I can't deal with you, sun. The disrespect is real. I need you to calm down. I need you to just stop shining. You're too bright. I can't deal with it. The truth is that no matter how disgruntled the sun might make somebody, people don't go out and cuss the sun out. They don't go and be like, yeah, son, you better dim your light. Instead, they find a way to survive while the sun continues to shine. Instead of going out and yelling at the sun, this person might put on some shades. This person might decide to stay at home. This person might wear a hat, a visor, or they'll wear sunglasses and a visor, and they'll sit in the shade. Why is that? Because instinctively they know that the sun is powerful. Instinctively they know that the sun has a job to do. This person realizes that the sun was put there for a reason, and there are other people besides themselves that is depending on the sun. And I just want you to sit in that knowing for a minute. Let's look at another light source, a lighthouse. Now, the lighthouse has a tremendous responsibility as well, because the main purpose of a lighthouse is to help ships and boats that are out sailing in the middle of the night that don't know where they are, or maybe they do know where they are, but they need that direction. They need the light from that lighthouse to help them get home safely, to help them reach the other side of the ocean safely in one piece. The guiding light of the lighthouse is what allows a lot of ships and boats to make it safely from here to there, especially in the darkest of nights. So why am I sharing these two analogies with you? Is because you are also a light. And I think a lot of us seem to forget this, or there are people in our life that don't want us to know this. They don't want us to recognize the power that is within us. They don't want us to see that we have a mission and a purpose that is so big that so many people are depending on. They want us to dim our light. And some people do this for different reasons. One reason why people do this is because they're afraid of the light that is in you. They don't want you to recognize the power that is in you, because then they think that when you discover your light, it's going to cause their light to shine not as bright. They feel that your light is going to cause their light to become dim. So they don't want you to shine your light. But that's false. That's not the way it works up in here. Because here's the thing that you need to know is that like attracts like. So for this episode, we're going to talk about light attracting light. When you recognize who you are, when you decide to step into your purpose, when you decide to be unapologetic about your gifts and your reason for being here in this planet, the reason why God has placed you where you are at this moment in this time, then you really start recognizing that you are more important than you ever realized that you were. So when you recognize that power within you and you make that conscious decision that what you have to offer is important, and you decide that you're going to shine your light, somebody else trying to dim your light is counterproductive. Because what they don't realize is that as you shine, you help them to shine brighter, and vice versa. Dimming somebody else's light will never cause your light to shine brighter. But if you encourage somebody to recognize that light within themselves, if you encourage somebody to step into their power and to shine their light, you create a ripple effect of all these beautiful lights shining. Because each and every person is shining their light to attract a different person, to attract a different niche, if you will. If you're in the business realm, you know that there's a lot of different niches. There's a lot of things that people need. So if somebody is trying to dim your light, it doesn't necessarily provide them with an advantage, because what you have to offer is completely different from what they have to offer, even if y'all are doing the same exact thing. Their style is different. The way they speak is different. The way they process information is different. Their life story is different. So someone needs you. Someone needs you to shine your light. And you are doing a major disservice, not only to yourself, but a huge disservice to the people that need your light. So it's completely okay. I want to say it's completely okay if you feel scared right now. You're not sure if what you're doing is the right thing. You're not sure if you're in the right place at the right time. Well, guess what? As you start tapping into your passion, as you start trusting yourself, as you start believing that I am important, I have a purpose to fulfill. There is a plan and a purpose for my life that I must fulfill. And you recognize that and you become empowered, just reciting that to yourself, affirming that within yourself. You'll see things start to line up. As you start to shine your light, the people that try to dim your light, they'll fall away. They'll fall away. And what will happen is that you will start to become connected with the other individuals whose lights are shining, who have a similar purpose as you, who are ready to support you on your journey. So don't allow somebody trying to dim your light to discourage you from moving forward. Because guess what, y'all? I don't know about y'all, but I remember a Bible story that I read when I was very young. And there was a man who was blinded by a light. And that light blinded that man to the point that that man had to change his life. Let me know if you know that story. This man's name was Saul. And Saul was a hater. Jamaicans will say Saul was bad mind. Saul was bad mind and grudgeful. And he was a hater. He didn't like what God had going on. He did not like what he was seeing. He was trying to pull down what God was trying to do. But one day that light came through, and that light so blinded him that the only person that could help him was one of the people that he was ridiculing and pulling down. And instantly, when he got his sight back, he changed his ways. He became transformed. He was able to realize all the things that he had done that may not have been the best things for his life. And he recognized that if he continued to go down this path, that he would end up in a place that he didn't want to be. So Saul, his name was changed to Paul because the light transformed him. Was it uncomfortable? Of course. Did it feel good? Not at all. But that is what our light is supposed to do. So if there's someone out here that's trying to dim your light, someone out there that's trying to convince you not to shine your light, it's not even the fact that this person might be hateful or grudgeful. Sometimes that's not even it. Sometimes it's the fact that your light is so confronting to them. Your light is changing them. And it's an uncomfortable process. Your light is forcing them to make realizations about things in their life that they need to change. Your light is forcing them to think bigger. Your light is forcing them to step out of their comfort zone. Your light is forcing them to recognize how they are playing small. Now, if they're at a point in their life where they're not ready to change, where they want to continue on the woe is me, I'm a victim trajectory, of course they're going to be upset. Of course they're going to tell you your light is too bright. You need to dim your light. You have no business doing what you're doing. Of course. 95% of the time, that is a projection. They are projecting their limiting beliefs onto you because the light in you is exposing the light within them. And it's scary. It's scary when you are confronted with truth and you don't know what to do with it. When you are confronted with truth, sometimes it feels like your whole life is falling apart. And when you get to that point in your life, it's not to be upset at the person that's shining their light. It's to take that time to go inward. It's to take that time and to ask yourself, what's next? What comes next? So if somebody's out there trying to dim your light, don't even get upset at them. And definitely don't discount yourself, because there's a reason and a purpose why you have been called at this point in time in your life to shine your light. And the reason why I can say this is because I get it. I understand. I'm raising both my hands right now because I have been in the position where individuals felt it necessary to attack me, to try to dim my light. And I never understood it. I always thought that something was wrong with me. I always thought that I was doing the wrong thing. I always thought that it was something that was wrong with me, why I was being forced to dim my light. But that's not the truth. And that realization was one of the most liberating times in my life. And now I'm at a place where I never thought I would be, where I'm able to empower other women to recognize their power, to recognize that light within them, and help them to get to a point of shining their light so bright being able to really discover their true authentic self, helping them to align with their purpose. And it feels good. Now there's little light shining everywhere that's growing and getting bigger and bigger day by day because they're trusting themselves. They're trusting in their purpose. They're trusting in their God-given gifts, talents, skills, and abilities. And that's what I want for you today. You already have everything that you need. But first, you need to trust yourself. You need to trust and take that first step. And that first step is going to be different for every single person listening to the sound of my voice right now. But I want to encourage you not to give up. I want to encourage you to continue to shine your light, because there's somebody out there that's depending on your light. Your light can be the catalyst of change that someone is waiting on to step into their purpose. Your light is what might transform someone right now in this moment. So never think that your purpose is too small. Never think that you don't have enough to offer, because you are everything. You are everything, and everything is you. We are all connected. We're all at the right place at the right time. You listening to the sound of my voice right now, this is not a mistake. It's not an accident that you're here listening to this message. So if you're feeling discouraged, I want you to remember that you are valuable. You have a purpose to fulfill. And the only way that you're going to be able to fulfill that purpose is to step into your power, to honor your truth and your authentic self, and to not be afraid to shine your light. The world is waiting on you. Okay? So I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Champagne Diamonds. I'm really, really grateful for all the love and the support that I've been getting since I launched this podcast. As y'all know from episode 1, it's been a long time coming. And I'm so grateful to be here and to have this opportunity. And I hope that this episode really inspired you and encouraged you. If you're listening to this on the Anchor app, definitely go ahead and leave me a voice note. If you are listening to this on any of the other podcast streaming networks, definitely go ahead and leave a review. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there's any type of content that you would like me to create for future episodes. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you already know what to do. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I love you. I appreciate you. Keep shining your light. You're beautiful, you're amazing, and you have so much to offer this world.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Champagne Diamonds. I look forward to seeing you again in the next one.